As you guys know, in Grand RP, there's a pretty decent amount of orgs. We have gangs, legal organizations, you can work at the hospital, you can also work at Life Invader. Today, though, I wanted to go over two orgs that I think should be added to Grand RP. No, they're not crazy orgs, they're actually much smaller, and it would ease the workload and allow for a lot more stuff to be done in some other organizations. And if you guys had to pick a couple organizations to be added to Grand RP, comment them down below and why you think they would be good to have in the city. So I hope you go on to enjoy, and just before we get into it, if you haven't already joined the server before and wanted to, be sure to click the link down below in the description, click on Start Playing, select which server you want to play on, register an account, and download the launcher, and you should be good to go. But with that said, I hope you enjoy, and let's get into things. The first one is going to be a towing organization. Now, like I said, this wouldn't be something major. It'd be more of a small organization, and I would be happy to run this org, because it'd be so simple to do. You just train them exactly how you would train them in LSPD, because right now they're completely in charge of towing. And I honestly think in LSPD, that really shouldn't be their job, if you know what I mean. Like, what police department do you know that covers towing for an entire state? If you were to make this just a regular beginner job, I feel like it would cause a lot of issues because people would randomly just go and tow people's cars for no apparent reason, unless there is a specific reason to do so. But I feel like it'd be easier to make a miniature org where they just go and tow vehicles. Of course, LSPD would still be in charge of handing out actual fines, but if they need somebody to come and tow their vehicle, they would just put a request in saying, tow this vehicle, tow that vehicle. Or, you know, the tow truck drivers could just go around and tow the vehicles themselves and give the fine when they get to the impound. I know it's fairly simple, but I still think it would be a fun little organization to run, and it would make sense to have something like this in the city. Because like I said, it's not LSPD's job to go around towing vehicles. You would call a tow truck to go and tow the vehicle for you. So I think it would be a fun little org to have. Let me know what you guys think of it down below. And just before we jump into the next one, take a look at this video's sponsor. If you need any assistance in any of your favorite games like GTA 5, Fortnite, Forza, Call of Duty, and many, many more, be sure to check out Damn Mods down below in the description, and at checkout use code Frolickz to get up to $100 off your order. Next is going to be making the Department of Corrections, or DOC, an actual organization. Now, last time I pulled up here, all the workers were bored out of their minds. I was talking to one dude whose job was literally just to stand in front of the door and direct people away from it. And that's all he did. That shit is boring as hell. And many times when I've been in prison or just came here, I haven't seen any DOC officers here because sometimes it just gets boring and they're just like not about doing it for that day or just don't feel like it in general because it's not fun. At some point, I'm going to show you guys a full detailed view of this. I can't remember where I saw it, but I will get to it at some point. But either way, this is how I think it should go. First, like I said, make it its own organization and then improve the prison system a whole lot more. In other servers that I've played on and even other mods that I've seen, they've implemented so much stuff. And the DOC is giant, yet we only use one little building out of this entire prison. And sometimes you get access to the prison yard if a DOC officer allows you to. It's just a massive waste, to be honest, to have all of these extra buildings and not using them for the purpose of them. Even the watchtowers at the same time. And I've seen in other servers and other mods before where they actually implemented each of the cell blocks, and that's where you would be held. The officers wouldn't just stay in that tiny one little area that we're used to, but they'd actually be patrolling around the yard, walking through cell blocks and things like that. And prisoners wouldn't only be allowed to sit in their cell and go move boxes of crap around, but they'd actually be able to use the gym in the yard, the basketball courts, and actually start some little jobs and secret tasks that you could do. Like I said, at some point I'm going to make a video going a lot more in depth with this because I've actually seen it in person and it looks insane. I just feel like there's a whole lot more that they could do with the DOC, and if they made it an actual org, I feel like a lot of people would really enjoy joining this. And even being a prisoner would be so much more enjoyable. Instead of just sitting in your cell and being denied access to go to the yard to shorten your sentence, you'd actually be able to do stuff. Like if you were actually in prison. Take in actual prisoners in real life have more rights in prison than you do in Grand RP. I think that's kind of crazy. But anyways, like I said, I'll go more in depth with that in the future. I just think it would be awesome, and if it was its own org, it might get a whole lot more attention, and a lot of stuff could be done about it. Anyways, that is pretty much going to wrap things up. Like I said, comment some ideas you have for other organizations down below in the comment section, and if you want to see that full DOC video, let me know down below as well. Trust me, it is definitely worth the watch, just because it is something that you have never, ever seen before. But anyways, thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and with that said, I will catch you guys in the next one.